Ronald Reed came from the most humble, if not impoverished background that you can imagine. And even as an adult, he spent his entire career as a janitor and a gas station attendant. And when he died, he left millions of dollars to charity. And everyone was like, where the janitor has millions of dollars? Like, what in the world happened here? And the answer was he saved what little he could. $10 here, $20 there, maybe $100 here. He invested in the stock market. He left it alone for like 70 years. And that's it. That's the whole story. And that's all you need. If you have the right behavior, if you have the right mindset, you don't need much else to even achieve extraordinary returns over time.
36, desiring less can have the same impact on your well-being as gaining more money. To be content with what you have is the deepest way to enjoy the house you've purchased, the clothes you wear, and the vacations you take.
When you realize that wealth is what you have versus what you want,
Hmm.
and the wider that gap is, the worse you're going to feel. The narrower that gap is, the better you're going to feel. The idea of being gracious and having gratitude for the world that we live in, for what we have rather than what we don't have, for me, it takes effort to do that. And it sounds kind of mushy and wishy-washy. Like, how can that possibly be a thing? Nothing in psychology, I think, is more powerful than keeping your expectations in check and being gracious for what you already have. There's a great quote from Stephen Hawking, the great scientist who, of course, had ALS and had absolutely no control over his body. He could not even speak. And he said, my expectations were reduced to zero when I was 21. And he said, everything else since then has been a bonus.
Oh,
And it just made him, in that dealing with that tragedy, made it much easier for him to exercise gratitude for what he did have. But it's unavoidably true that when you experience that kind of trauma, whatever the trauma might be, it can be losing a job, it can be divorce, whatever it is, that it can push you closer towards appreciating what you do have.
how do you take that quote, everything was reduced to zero, so anything else that happened became a
Yeah.
bonus, and use that philosophy to change your mindset about money?